Alright guys, who's ready for another amazing coaster review? This time I'm reviewing what is widely considered one of the best launch roller coasters ever built. This is of Storm Runner at HersheyPark. And let me just say guys, I was very impressed with this roller coaster. But before I get into all my thoughts and stuff, let's start with the stats. So this coaster opened in May 8th of 2004, it was manufactured by Intamin, has a length of 2,600 feet of track, has a height of 150 feet, drop of 180 feet, speed of 72 miles per hour, has 3 inversions, has a steepness of 90 degrees, and a duration of 50 seconds. Now, like I just said, this coaster really impressed me. And believe it or not, this coaster exceeded my expectations. I had some pretty high hopes for this roller coaster. And so when I got on it, I was just blown away. Now, I do have a bit of an interesting history with this roller coaster. I went to HersheyPark back when I was 4 years old, before I was even an enthusiast, when I was more GP. And this coaster was around that time, and I was just looking at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to ride that so badly, because it just looked so much fun. And I was kind of disappointed I didn't get to ride it, because, of course, I was way too short. So just getting to ride it when I went back to HersheyPark this summer was just incredible. It really felt surreal getting just to ride it once again. And the coaster, like I said earlier, this coaster was just incredible. This coaster, first off, it was very intense. It is a very aggressive ride. If you're not into intense rides, I'd recommend skipping this one, because this is an aggressive roller coaster. Not quite as intense as Skyrush, but definitely more intense than Fahrenheit. But yeah, like the G-forces were pretty strong in this coaster, and the inversions were really awesome. And one of the funniest things with Storm Runner is that the inversions were kind of weirdly laid out. It is a bit of a weird roller coaster, and that's what makes Storm Runner just so unique. Like, as you can see right here, it kind of looks like an Immelman, but like a deformed Immelman. It was such a cool moment. That was a really cool element, and the rest of the versions are just so weird. And it is amazing. I remember Taylor was saying this coaster is a weird ride, and I could certainly tell you guys that I probably would agree that it is a bit of a weird ride, which is what makes Storm Runner just so cool. Now, if there's a downside with this roller coaster, it's not because of restraints. Like, a lot of people said back in the day when this coaster had plastic restraints, the coaster wasn't as good because it banged your neck a little bit. But now it has the soft restraints, same with Fahrenheit. And I thought the restraints were great. Now, the only problem with Storm Runner is that it is a bit of a short ride. But most of these launch coasters tend to be short rides. They're not exactly the longest. And this coaster, yes, I wish it could have been longer, but I mean, it packed a lot in for a short amount of time, which is what I really liked about it. And literally, there's also a lot more airtime than I expected and a lot more intensity. So it was so cool. Now, getting into the ride. So first up, you enter the car and you have the vest restraints. You pull it down, then you leave the station, and then you start leaving the station. Then you enter the brake section. You wait there for about, I'm guessing, 15 seconds, and the voice will say, now get ready, here we go. And then you just start launching this track at 72 miles per hour. And let me tell you guys, this acceleration is insane. Like, if you remember my HersheyPark vlog, my uncle actually filmed us on the ride. Like, he actually filmed us, like, launching through the track, and you can hear me screaming, oh my gosh. Like, the acceleration was just unbelievable. And then you shoot out of the launch track, and then you go up the spike, you go up that top hat, and at the top of the top hat, you actually get some pretty awesome airtime. So I was a big fan of that. I rode in the front row. I wish I could have gotten a back row ride so we could have whipped through that inversion. But I mean, the front row ride definitely provided some pretty awesome airtime. Well, I rode second row, but it's kind of the front car, so I mean, yeah. So got some airtime during that top hat. Then he went down that drop, and that drop was really cool. It was also pretty intense at the bottom. I grayed out just a little bit. Then you have that deformed element, which is such a weird inversion. Like, or I think it's called the snake dive or something. I don't know. It's just, that is such a weird inversion. But it's a cool inversion, though. It is such a cool element to Storm Runner. And then you go into what is probably my favorite part of the entire ride, the flying snake roll. Oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't really have very high expectations for this. But what I mean by high expectations is that I didn't really study this element a lot, but however, this element just surprised me. It really took me by surprise. Literally, this element just felt like it never ended. It was so cool. And literally, I'm just like, oh my gosh, the entire time. It was incredible. That is one of the best coaster inversions I have ever experienced, guys. Top 10 for sure. So then you exit that flying snake roll, and you go into a little bit of a twisty section, and then you hit the final brakes. So the ride does end pretty quickly, but I mean, it's a great 50 seconds for sure. It's not a waste of 50 seconds of your life. It is definitely really adds value to your day. This coaster is just awesome. So that will be my thought. Sorry, that is my thoughts on the ride. So, okay guys, so sorry about that. I thought I was at the end of the video, but anyhow, what do I think of Storm Runner? It is one fantastic launch coaster. Without a doubt, my favorite launch coaster I've ever ridden. It's going to be pretty hard to beat Storm Runner. So, but what's the final score for it? Because I have to give it a score, you know. So out of 10, Storm Runner is getting a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason why I didn't receive a 10 is because it is a bit of a short ride, but hey, a 9.5 is still an incredible score. So that will do it for this video now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment below what are your thoughts on Storm Runner. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Also, don't forget to subscribe for more videos and more reviews in the future. Also, don't forget to check out the social media link, which will be in the description below. I will see you guys next time. Have a theme-tacular day.